Special features used to be a huge draw of buying a DVD. Can you imagine buying a DVD because it promises exclusive behind the scenes footage, bloopers, deleted scenes, director's commentaries, and then you put in the disc, go to special features, and it's just not there? Well, this does happen. It happened to me. Today we're going to talk about the DVDs that just flat out lied to us. Before we kick off, this is not about new releases that have omitted features that were previously available on older formats. There's a lot of talk about this already and it's been covered on loads of great YouTube channels already. My take on that is that yes, it can be annoying, but there's probably all kinds of behind the scenes reasons. Things like disk space, licensing issues, music rights expiring, all kinds of things. We're open to discussion, of course, about that in the comments, but today I'm going to be focusing specifically on features that were promised and even labelled on packaging that simply weren't there when you pop the disc in. So after my previous video about Blu-rays and DVDs and why they're bundled together, one of my friends contacted me and reminded me of a DVD that he owned at university, which was Maniac Cop. And on the packaging of Maniac Cop, it said that there was a commentary with Bruce Campbell. And one day we popped the DVD in, grabbed a few beers and thought we would watch Maniac Cop with Bruce's commentary. But guess what? It wasn't there. No matter what audio track we selected, Bruce Campbell's dulcet tones did not come out of the speakers. So was this a labelling mistake, or had the audio commentary been accidentally left off the DVD? Who can tell? But then this further reminded me of another DVD that I picked up in university, which was 2002's The Time Machine. Yeah, I know. And on the back of that DVD, it specifies that there's an audio commentary with the cast of the original 1960 version of The Time Machine. And yet, again, you pop that in the DVD player and that audio track isn't available. Opening up the snapper case, it says that there are two audio commentaries, one from the director and the editor, and the other from the VFX team. So what gives? Was there an audio commentary recorded by the original cast of the 1960 film for the 2002 film, or has this just been made up? Is it an overspill from the other Time Machine DVD? Was this feature meant to be on the disc? Does it even exist? I don't know. The box promises one thing and contradicts itself within the box, so who knows? Yet another extra feature that doesn't exist. Another feature I remember not working on a UK DVD was for Austin Powers 2, which was one of the first DVDs I ever bought. And I'd read online about a hidden Dr. Evil menu that had some little bonus features that weren't advertised on the disc. I knew that you had to leave one of the menu screens idle for a little bit and wait until the music ran out, and then something would happen and that menu screen would be unlocked. But the menu just simply didn't work. So whether this was an authoring issue, whether the things had been missed out, or I don't know, it didn't work for me. Technically an extra that hadn't been labelled, but frustrating that it wasn't there. But all this talk with my friend had reminded me of possibly one of the most disastrous DVD releases in the UK. And it takes me back to October 2004 with the UK release of the Goonies, specifically this one. So a couple of years previous to the UK release of this, I'd borrowed a Region 1 copy from a friend in university who had a whole bunch of Region 1 DVDs. You know, he had RoboCop, Big Trouble in Little China, The Goonies. I remember borrowing a couple, opening up my PC, changing the region code on the DVD player, and enjoying all these amazing extra features that I'd never seen. All these DVDs that hadn't yet had a UK release. And the one that really struck me was the Region 1 Goonies had an in-vision audio commentary with the cast and Richard Donner. Just such a good extra feature. What DVDs were made for, really. So a couple of years later in 2004, when the UK released that the Goonies was finally coming to DVD, packed with those extra features, I was first in line to pick up my copy. So on Monday, the 4th of October 2004, I strolled into Virgin Megastore and picked up my copy of the Goonies. Took it home, popped it in the DVD player, selected the audio commentary, and it wasn't there. But it said it was there on the back of the box, but the disc said otherwise. What was worse, and I'm sure I'm remembering this correctly, that even when I went to play the film, it was still the original UK cut of the Goonies that I'd grown up with, which takes out a whole bit of the police station scene at the beginning, and also a little bit of Chunk's dialogue in the car chase scene at the beginning, which makes for a very jarring cut in the soundtrack. So as this was 2004, I jumped straight on the internet to see if it was just me who was experiencing this. And it wasn't just me. Forums were full of people with the same complaint. The audio commentary was indeed missing. I told my mate about what happened next and he couldn't quite believe it. But this is genuinely what happened. To Warner Home Video's credit, they had this issue fixed pretty quickly. In a statement on CFAX, they announced that due to a manufacturing error, the DVD version of the Goonies has been distributed as an incomplete disc, omitting some of the special features. They went on to say that the correct version with all the special features would be available to purchase from the 11th of October, so a week after its initial release, which is pretty good damage control. Anyone who had already purchased the incorrect DVD could send off for a brand new copy. I followed the instructions on this statement where I had to take the DVD out of the case, pop it in a self-addressed envelope and then send this DVD to a free post address who would then send me back the correct DVD. So for all of us in the UK who'd bought the Goonies on day one and noticed that mistake, we got our new copy sent back to us in the mail and had a spare box to boot. But how many people didn't notice the mistake because they simply didn't buy it for the special features? How many erroneous DVD copies of the Goonies are still out there floating at sea like One-Eyed Willie? So the case of the Goonies missing extras has been solved, but it's far from case closed for missing extras on Blu-rays and DVDs. And now it's over to you. Have you ever bought a DVD or Blu-ray that promised extra features that just weren't there? Tell me your tales of missing DVD, Blu-ray and 4K extras if you have any. I'd love to find out if there are any more tales like this one out there. Thank you very much for watching. Please consider subscribing if you like looking into the quirks of physical media, collecting, hoarding, all that kind of good stuff, and click the notification bell so you can be up to date the next time a video goes live. If you are going to stick around on the channel, you can watch another video either here or here, because I guess that's how the YouTube algorithm works. But maybe you're inspired to go and raid the DVD shelves yourselves and see if anything's missing. I'll be back soon with another video, so I'd just like to thank you once again for watching, and I'll see you soon.